Milwaukee. Good morning. Just going to give a full minute here and adjust my camera. Again, I'm not calling this a test because we're not making this a test. This is Wednesday Wisdom. I usually do this. I usually do this on my main page on Facebook. But considering I am trying to learn hacks, I will not be doing this on my main page on Facebook. Not today. We'll see what happens. Good morning. And my face is like all off to the side today. That's not what we want, right? That is not what we want. So, there we go. That's better. Sorry about that. I should have had that all planned out, right? So, it's a beautiful day in Milwaukee today, and I'm excited. I'm on my way to the office. Um, and hopefully I'm starting my new schedule or my what's supposed to be my schedule. But we shall see. We shall see. So good morning, everyone, and welcome. I am Dana Williamson with B.A.D, Blessed Anointed Destined LLC, the original B.A.D Queen of the Round Table. I am, as always, trying to utilize all of my resources so that I am available for wherever my audience is and whoever wants to find out more about B.A.D and what B.A.D Coach Dana actually does. For me, I'm here today. Again, this is Wednesday Wisdom, and I usually do this on my main page on Facebook, but I'm doing it here through HAPS and all of my other uh, social media streams because, again, I want to be available for people that I think I've been leaving on back burner. And what I mean by that, and it's kind of going to get to the conversation I want to have this morning. What I mean by that is that sometimes as entrepreneurs and ministry leaders, we shy away from the norm of being available for our potential client, our potential customer, and because we do that. You know what? We overthink and we miss things. And so that brings me to the conversation I want to have this morning for Wednesday Wisdom, and that is about relationships and all of the relationships that we develop. I have, been challenged over the past couple of weeks because there's this one particular person in my life, not someone that I know very well, but just someone that I have, someone that's somewhat of a colleague, and that person has said a few times, not recently, but a few times in the past few weeks, that I am aggressive. And one day, I was so perturbed by this person that I went home and I thought about it and I prayed and I asked God, "Hey, viewers, thanks so much for joining." And I asked God, what is it? Am I really aggressive and you know, I had to sit back and just kind of, like I said the other day, take inventory of me. And here's the thing about me. I'm not aggressive. I'm going to own being bold. I'm going to own being a little bit brazen. I'm going to own being a little assertive. Yes. I'm going to own my identity of being the woman that I am. Now, if some people who cannot take who that person is and they define it in a different way, I, can't stop them from defining it in a way that makes them feel comfortable. They're not going to belittle me. And in that same breath, I say to other women, entrepreneurs, especially those of you that are women of faith, you know what? You better just open your eyes and do whatever and be you. And I know I've said that many times before to all of you that have been following me on all of my platforms. I know I've said that before, but I'm just going to say it again. You better own you and be comfortable with you and be accepting of who you are because God made you that way. And so when we talk about relationships, I'm talking about, people that the different relationships you have, whether it's a client, whether it's someone you work with, someone you want to build business with, a supervisor, boss, for kids. The relationships I'm talking about are the ones that are so you're invested in these relationships. There's no way that you can just say, okay, well, I'm done. There's no way that you can just say, hey, guess what? I'm finished with this. Or, you know what? I'm just going to walk away. You can't do that. And the reason why you can't do that is because when you have time invested in people and relationships and, different things going on, you have to say to yourself, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good with who I am. And let that person decide to walk away. Why? You ain't got time to be waiting on folks and be like, okay, what? That's not who you are. That is not who you are as an entrepreneur. That's not who you are as a business person. That's not who you are. You are the person who, is strong-willed and, again, bold and sassy about who you are. And you have to own that. You have to literally own that and be good with that's it. When you talk about relationships, and I really wanted to get a little deeper, but I can't. This morning Wednesday wisdom is really for a short period of time. But when you talk about relationships, and this is important to me when I talk to all of you, because I have a book that I actually give away for free, and it's called Building Relationships, and it's how I use two direct sales businesses to build relationships. I am a distributor for Young Living, and I also use send out cards, which is now Greener Still. But nonetheless, what I'm saying to you is, when I look at building relationships with other people, it comes down to knowing that you're comfortable with you and the people that come into your circle are comfortable and okay with you. And then you don't have to doubt you. You don't have to discredit you. You don't have to put you on the back burner. And you don't have to ever apologize for being you. When you're talking about relationships, everyone, please understand what I'm saying. When you're talking about relationships, you're not talking about, basically trying to um change you for someone else, or even have someone else change for you. But if they're comfortable with you and they're good with you, you know what? This is I want to go so far with this, but I can't. I don't it's not just I don't have the time. I can't right now, because and I think I'm just going to talk about this on my podcast later, and do a more in-depth, maybe webinar or teleconference, or whatnot. And actually, I think I'll put this as a topic on the podcast segment for Smart, Safe, Sexy. When you are a woman of God, when you are a faith-based individual, when you are someone who walks in the things of spiritual knowledge, even your education, everything about you, when you are that person, you again are comfortable with you, but you don't doubt you. And anytime someone brings something into your space and they cause you to doubt who you are, you start to redevelop different um scenarios, psyche, and different feelings. Let's just make it real general, right? About you. And then that starts to change who you are. Relationships should never do that. I'm jumping off here now. I desire to be married again. And when I ask God for the husband that he has for me, I'm asking God for someone who is the take charge person at home. Not that he's weak in front of people, but that he knows I'm good at what I do, that when we have a conversation or we're out in public and I say something, and I say something that I feel strongly about, or I say something that I know something about, he will not discredit me. He will not shut me down. He will not, make me hush. When I have because I'm an entrepreneur, I have a business. I am doing all that I can to run and build and all of that for my business. My future king is going to support me in all of that, because he knows that I know what I'm doing. It'll be at home that he says, you know what, babe, you said something today. I got a question. Help me figure out why you said this, because I let's talk about it. He will never have this look on his face, and while we're out in public, like, I don't understand. Who is that? My husband is my husband, and he's everything to me in public and in private. But in private, I need that person to, say, babe, you shouldn't have said that, or babe, I got you. Or when I've had a bad day, my husband in private is going to already have that bathwater run. I don't drink wine, but if one day I have to have a glass of wine, maybe he'll know. You know what I mean? That when you have a relationship like that with anybody, when you have a relationship with someone who understands who you are without you having to open your mouth, which someone who can look at you and say, okay, something's wrong, let's talk. Or someone that can say, let me get you a Coke. That would be for me. Or let me get you a cup of mocha. Let's when you have a relation, I'm just gonna end it like this because I really want to go really deep, and I'm gonna do this on the Smart Save Sexy segment on my podcast. When you have relationships where it's not just someone you've met on the street in passing, but when you have a built-in relationship with someone who desires to know who you are and to be in that same space and circle with you because you are who you are, that person is going to understand you at least 80% of the way. I have a friend who, the first couple of years, or maybe even the first year, we had known each other. She said, you know what? People say what they say, but you are so misunderstood. I get why people are why they say what they say about you, because you are so misunderstood. I get you. They don't. And that helped me. It hurt me to hear that people misunderstand me, but it helped me to realize I am who I am. And I don't need everybody to understand me. This is where relationships in business, ministry, and life are so important, and where you need to be. Because once you realize you are who you are, again, as I said in the beginning, you do not have to apologize for who you are. You just have to be. So listen, thank you all so much for viewing. I know this has gone over all platforms, but I see a couple of viewers here on Habs. Thank you so much for viewing. I appreciate you. If you got anything out of this, please subscribe to me here on Habs, or follow me on Periscope, Twitter, Bad Coach Dana on Facebook. And you know what? As entrepreneurs, let's do this together, building relationships together. I'll talk to you on Friday.